We're on IH-75, several miles downstream from the other one that we just did. This is another GPS 9. This is in cell 9-31. The distinction between this one and the previous test section is that the traffic is somewhat less on this one, as we have observed. This is south of the interchange for I-475, and apparently a lot of the traffic funnels off on that. This is also in the low thickness cell. We have a 7-inch unbonded CRC overlay as opposed to the 8-inch that we had north of I-475. We're still north of Macon, although we're somewhat closer to town here, still moving in the southbound lane. The widening project does not extend down this far. As you'll see throughout the video, we do not have some of the other things which I guess confuse the traffic out here as we're attempting to mark the section. One thing that we can do to tie in the section is to look over here at a permanent monument that we have. This is station 320+00. We're looking at it upside down. This is impressed into the concrete, or it was at the time of construction. So obviously, with the stations increasing moving north, we're going back station. We're around station 320+03 to begin the test section, and we end it at around station 315+03. 315 is also imprinted into the concrete. Looking up across the roadway towards the northbound lanes, as you can see, we still have some truck traffic. Back behind us over there, about a little over a mile back to the north, you can see the I-475 interchange sweeping on around. We don't have the plans on this, but this is in a section where we're not able to find any drain pipes or culverts or anything crossing within this section. We're on what appears to be around a 2% grade. Looking forward down the test section now, and we're in a relatively uniform fill section right in here. You see where our vehicle is parked. It's right up there at the end of the test section. The thing which is somewhat different about this section than in the other one that we just looked at is the crack pattern that is developed, or is continuing to develop. It appears that the initial crack pattern was probably about the same as for the other one. Right here we see what probably is, well, no, we've got another one right up over there. The longest spacing between cracks, which appears to be around 8 feet, 8 to 10 feet. As we go along here, you'll notice that many smaller cracks that are held very tightly together are beginning to develop, as can be witnessed by the different coloration of the surface, which you can see at this angle of filming. None of the cracks show any sign of distress, with the exception of a few places where it appears that some aggregate has popped out, as you might see right there. These cracks are separated by approximately 1 foot right here. Again, we don't have traffic control, so I'm not going to try to show any comparative illustration. The staining that we have around the cracks, so the difference in coloration is quite interesting to note. It's probably more vivid in looking back in the other direction, and I'll try to show that. In fact, it shows up even better. And some of the more interesting things are up ahead. As we see smaller and smaller spacings in the cracks on up, particularly towards the end of the test section. Some of these cracks appear to be recently developed and do not extend across the entire lane. And right here is an example of that. We're up at Station 1 right now. quite frequently we will come into a crack pattern like this where we have 4 or 5 or more cracks that are very closely spaced. However, as I said just before, there is no real distress which is developing at these cracks, and they all remain exactly closed. It will be interesting to monitor this section with time. Some of the cracks are as close as probably 4 to 6 inches to each other on up ahead, while the largest spacing, as I mentioned before, is 8 to 10 feet. I've already done the crack count, but I don't know what purpose it would serve to read that off.